Hey there, my name is Michael Raymond, writer for the coming-of-age dramedy Glow Stick, a honorable mention in this year's Scriptapalooza Screenwriting competition. How did I come up with the idea? Glow Stick is loosely based on a personal experience when I was younger, and it's a story that stayed with me for a number of years. I was never quite sure how to kind of crack into it. It was a story about friendship and loss and how people deal with grief. So it was pretty heavy themes, and I didn't want to do a literal sort of adaptation or narrative around that story. So the inspiration for it actually occurred years later when I attended a elementary school dance or function where all the young children were in this dark room running around with glow sticks. And it was a rather mesmerizing, strange sort of reaction and an aha moment for me around a way into this story that might provide it with some comic relief, a little bit of magical realism. So that was where the inspiration came from to eventually develop this narrative into what I hope is a sweet story that deals with some heavy universal themes, but also in a very comical sort of way, balancing sort of the humor and the drama. It took me about 4 to 6 months to ultimately write it, which is pretty standard for me when I develop a feature script project. The way I work, I tend to bounce between outlining the narrative and the plot-driven elements with some of the character sketches in a kind of its own little gumbo soup, and somehow I compartmentalize that inside my head. It's not the first script I've written. I've written well over a dozen, so I guess not my first rodeo, so to speak. So for me, what works for sort of my method is I write every day early in the morning is kind of the way I carve out my creative time. And if I had any advice to give to young writers, it would simply be that, write every day. Develop a routine, and don't beat yourself up if you don't do a certain number of pages. If you write one sentence, 1 page, 2 pages, but that would be my advice. I entered Scriptapalooza obviously because it's a unique competition that provides promotion for writers, and they do such a commendable job of getting out there and being advocates for screenwriters, which is very gratifying then to be recognized. So once again, thank you, Scriptapalooza, for the acknowledgement and the recognition and the opportunity. Thank you.